and welcome to an all-new edition of The One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian,
I'm Kyle.
and we are going to discuss the last two games that we have had. Okay, our game last Saturday, which was kind of boring.
Yeah, that was a snooze fest.
But really should have done better against Sporting KC. And we're also going to discuss the game against Atlas, which happened last night.
Yes, and then also we're going to do a mini Jillian's fashion review.
Very mini.
Very mini. And we got some cards. I know we did a Topps Chrome pack, but we got just some regular cards here from 2022. So with 2023 coming out here shortly, I want to kind of go through these so we can open up some new cards. So we're gonna chip away at this and just have some thoughts on the week that was the Philadelphia Union, and the week that is coming up. A lot to discuss. But before we get started, you can follow us on social media at Twitter. That is TOTWAG. That's the One Team We Agree On. And on Facebook and Instagram at the One Team We Agree On, all one word. And again, love to hear from you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe this video on YouTube. It just gives us, validation that we're doing a good job. But we also like to interact with you guys. So
absolutely.
Again, make sure you comment. And
what are you wearing, Kyle?
What am I wearing?
You can't forget to do that.
I know I did. My goodness gracious, it's new having you take the lead.
I know, right?
I know, it's crazy. But anyway, I am wearing the Prem Blue Union shirt, and you're wearing?
I'm wearing this blue top from a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was like the playoff warm-up top, I believe. I think that was 2020 or 2021. Somebody commented.
Billy's gonna totally correct us.
Oh yeah, Billy will, because he was on the show and told us.
Yeah.
But special story of that, if you want to share, why don't you go ahead and share?
What story?
About what we used to wear these.
Oh yeah. So, well, we wore these a lot in 2021, honestly.
Yeah, we did. This is kind of our get up now. We have the lucky jerseys.
But yeah, this was kind of like my lucky jersey in 2021, just to wear. We got both these on eBay, right?
Yeah, we did. And I actually think this is what we wore to the COVID game.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I wore this at a COVID game. And then I didn't get my Unity top, which has been my lucky jersey until like June of last year. So before that, I was wearing the home kit like last year most of the time until I got the Unity top. So anyway, but yeah, so this one I always enjoyed, and I actually wore this headband a lot during that time too, although I still wear it.
Yeah. So before we get in with your little mini fashion show, we hadn't opened up some cards prior to, just because we were playing around.
So if you want to hear Kyle totally botch some names, you're gonna get your chance soon.
Oh, trust me, I botched the name last night on interview question to somebody that was asking an interview. I got a person's name with an actual club mixed up. So, but yeah, we won't talk about that. Anyway, we got Jan Grey Goose from San Jose, Pedro Vite from the Vancouver Whitecaps, which are playing tonight against LAFC. Oh my gosh. Cal, okay, you can do this one.
Cal Alexandre? I don't know.
From Vancouver.
Yeah, this, you know what this is like, Kyle? You know what you're doing the cards, reading off names. It's like your substitute teacher.
Right.
Reading off names, Aaron and stuff.
And then we got Graham Zuzi from Sporting KC, who played this weekend. Marcio Pereira from Orlando. Ryan Hollingshead,
LAFC. Boo.
Yeah. Dom Dwyer. Facundo Torres, very talented player. Striker, at times for the U.S. men's national team, Ricardo Pepe.
Yeah, he did pretty well recently.
We have another
fun card here.
Yeah. Julian.
You almost said Carranza.
I know I did. Julian Arango from LAFC.
That's LA Galaxy.
LA Galaxy. Oh my gosh. Gabriel Salona.
Selena.
I always say Salona. Selena.
He's bad at phonetics.
Yes, I am. And Then we have Zon Kolmick from Austin. So those are some of the cards we had opened up. But let's get into some of your fashions. So
okay. So on Saturday, I went into the team store. I guess we went in at the end of the game because so our buddy Todd was with us, different Todd, not Lewis, Todd Albert was with us. And Kyle was off doing the presser. And so Todd and I were like, oh, all right, let's go in the team store and check out the kits. Because they had just released the goalkeeper kits. Very exciting. So went in, I want to see what the price was like and see how they look. So they had blue ones, of course they don't have name and number on them.
No.
You'll be able to get that eventually. Correct. But they were the plain blue and they were long sleeved, and we'll post the picture I took on Twitter and everything, so you can see the picture I took. They were $140. So I was like, no. They look nice. I mean, we got one from the locker room sale. Right. It didn't have name and number on it, but we got one there. And did we pay less for that?
Oh yeah.
And it's
I forget.
Authentic
it was
one.
Like
yeah.
I think with that, the two bottoms, I think we only paid like $100. I want to say it was like 45, I believe. But yeah, no, I think they look nice.
Absolutely. It's nice that you can purchase them if you want now.
Yeah, my only thought is I think, and maybe eventually they'll do. So I'd like to see some different colors out there,
Yeah, I mean, Andre's been wearing the yellow a lot lately.
Yeah, he has. But
we got a whole chant for that,
And the green one, I like the green one too.
The green looks good. I'm just a big fan of pink. But I know Andre's been wearing pink for a while. But anyway, yeah, the green always looks good.
It does. And then also we got an email from Sons of Ben. They're releasing some of their new stuff. They got I kind of like what they're doing there. You want to talk about that a little bit with the flag and the one t-shirt sweater with the TRE, the river end?
Yeah, so they have some new swag that you can buy, and they posted that on their social media. You can go check it out. But yeah, there's a flag. They have some beanies on there. And we stopped by the merch on Saturday too, and we were checking out what they had. They had some sweatpants, and they actually had a bunch of things I already have. The kind of rainbow lettering Sons of Ben shirt's one of my favorites. But they have a lot of good stuff. If you haven't been in there to check it out at the new tailgate spot, go to the back of the building there, and you can see the merch they have, and they always have good stuff. So shout out to you guys that run that.
Yeah, John does a great job designing that. So no, I'm excited because I definitely want to pick up one of those flags. They look pretty cool.
They do.
Flags look excellent. So you guys did really nice job on that. So moving on. Let's talk about last night a little bit. A little CCL versus Atlas action. I think we'll go into kind of the describing the atmosphere when we got there.
Yeah.
We got there around 5:45, and place was packed already.
Yeah. So yeah, we were there about 5:45. It was a school day for me. So we got there as soon as we could. And yeah, I mean, we actually had to park further back in the G lot than we normally do.
Yeah,
it wasn't too far back, but still there were a lot of Atlas people there. They were already setting up, I mean, there were people like cooking street corn and stuff, which I love street corn. I was tempted, but they they had a whole bunch of people were walking around with like little carts of merch and everything, just kind of like how we had against Allianz. They definitely brought a lot of people though.
I'll be honest with you, I was impressed. Like I was seeing people with like they had taco carts, and then also like some other,
they had like cups of mango and stuff too.
Some other stuff. And people were, I saw on Twitter, people reviewing it, and they were all like, this is really good stuff. And that's kind of cool. Maybe that's a precursor to Leagues Cup. I don't know. But I thought it was interesting because like you could get like a lot of different jerseys, and people just walking around selling jerseys. Saw a couple people, I forget who it was, bought like 2 for $40, and I was like, well, that's actually a really good deal. So I mean, and everybody we like interacted with seemed, very friendly, and everybody seemed they were there having a good time supporting Atlas,
Yeah, I
and
mean, good for them for coming to support their team,
so I thought the atmosphere, with amongst the Union and Atlas fans was, very vibrant,
Hmm.
almost had that playoff vibe,
Yep,
and I think that was cool. And then we headed over to the unofficial tailgate
yep.
for members only, and I thought, we were sitting there,
Pretty
and
good turnout of people.
for Tuesday night, I
Hmm.
thought it was a good turnout.
Great weather too.
We got to talk to our buddy Ed, and then the lady and the husband that we met at Red
Hmm.
Bulls. I am so sorry because we were interacting with you today. It was great seeing you. And I totally forgot your guys' name. But no, we had a
Don't feel
nice,
bad. Kyle's terrible at
yeah.
names.
But we had a nice conversation with them, just talking about the season,
Yeah.
obviously. And then Ed came up and just chatting about the season at hand, and said hi to a couple other people. I know our buddy Cliff was there, and we were chatting a little bit. And and then we saw Gracie and all of them walk into our car and then head to
Hmm.
the stadium. So, I think with the game atmosphere when we got
Hmm.
there, definitely it seemed like there was way more Atlas people than Alianza.
Yes, and our, you know, our sections looked all like pretty empty for a while there. Like even when we were about to begin the game,
Well, that was the thing. When
it
we
looked
we
quite
started getting
empty.
like all I heard over on the other side was the Atlas fans. I mean, and I'll say this, and maybe and you can agree with me. I
Hmm.
felt like Alianza was taking up more of the upper part of the support,
Hmm.
the away section, whereas they were kind of clumped in, kind of like how normal
Yeah.
supporter sections when they have a big group
Yeah.
are. But then I was seeing some of the Atlas fans moving over
Yeah.
and like kind of joining in. They were really grumpy. I remember Adam Booth walked by. And he's like, "Oh, they seem like a fun bunch to like us." But
Yeah.
yeah, they were like going wild. But as the game started, all of a sudden people started filling
Yeah, it
in,
filled up
and the
right
River
after we
End
started.
got pretty. I would say got a nice crowd. And
Yeah, most of our usual people that were
yeah,
around were there in 136.
yeah, and I thought, once the game started going, I thought we were getting some good chanting going. I mean, it
Hmm.
was, let's be honest, it was the normal. I think we did a couple ones we do outside of the normal games, and they were definitely, I thought, like one or
Yeah, there were
two.
a few that, we haven't really done, which was good. Oh, one of my favorite ones.
What?
Move, bitch, get off
Oh
the
yeah,
pitch.
yeah, yeah. That
Yeah.
was fun, like,
Oh, yeah.
but I thought once the game started, we kind of. I thought the River End kind of started going at it,
Hmm.
and really started drowning them out. So credit to the Capos, and they did nice. It was a fun atmosphere, and that's one of the things I said on Twitter was last night. Regardless of how you feel about the team and the outcome, we'll get into that. But I thought the environment was a very fun, relaxed. Everybody was
Yeah.
laughing. I mean,
Hmm.
it was. Sometimes we were kind of like, "Oh, come on, guys!" But
Yeah.
I thought it was a very fun evening. And it was just a really good environment. What'd you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I thought, we had pretty decent energy, especially for a weeknight. Um, and we're getting a lot better, I think, at I don't know, like we were definitely getting better at doing this weekday thing, I think, at
Mm-hmm.
least lately. But again, I still look around and I see too many people just kind of standing there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's easy enough to follow along with the chants. I mean, we do the same chants, all the
Mm-hmm.
time, as we all know. And they're very easy to follow along with. Okay, except for I'm looking over four leaf clover. Half people don't seem to know like a word of it, to be honest.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I just would like to see more people get into it. I see some of the other supporter sections. I hate to bring up a certain team, but props to can't believe I'm saying this. Props to that team out on the West Coast that we faced at the MLS Cup. Their
Yeah.
supporter section, they were rowdy. Okay. Like except for when we went ahead and then we shut them up. Yeah. But
Yeah.
we just got to keep bringing it, and the capos are, trying to get them going.
Yeah.
So all of you guys coming out, encourage the other people around you, get jumping, get loud, keep bringing it.
Yeah, and I thought the stadium started filling a little bit. I still, I know it's a weeknight. I still love to see a bigger crowd for like. I think the people that come to the MLS games they're maybe not aware or understand the importance of the CCL as much as
right. A lot of the casuals don't realize the importance of this,
and even new fans. I wouldn't
and
say
the new
that, I
fans.
wouldn't even say casuals. I would say the new fans maybe don't understand the importance of like this is a big tournament. So hopefully as we advance and as we move along, we get to see bigger and bigger crowds. Because again, if we get to the finals and we play like a Tigres or a Leon, they're gonna bring like 75-25, which we don't want for a final.
Yeah, we don't want happening like what with Club America.
Yeah.
For those of you who know from, a couple years ago. Yeah.
So anyway, but just a couple thoughts on the game. What were your thoughts on last night's game? We'll get into the snore fest, but what was your overall thoughts?
I thought we looked a lot more energized at the beginning of the game. Like when it started, we immediately started, pressing and going for it. And I thought we looked just way more aggressive at the beginning than we have. That was great to see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying we were able to finish things all the time.
No.
But I thought we started out way better.
Yes. I thought overall it resembled kind of what we've seen at times.
We looked more like ourselves for parts of it. Again, we're still not able to finish it a lot of the time.
No. And I think there was a lot of some chances.
As Bedoya said, we're creating chances.
Right. And so, I mean, the cap is going to tell you, they're creating chances. I mean, one chance, I forget who sent the ball in. Maybe it was Gazdag to, or maybe it was McGlynn. I forget. To Carranza, who had his boot outstretched, and it just like
right, yeah, Carranza just missed that.
Maybe a couple months from now that's a goal, but I mean, I think for me, my concern still is there's times that it's just not there. Maybe the fullbacks are pressing up too high, forwards are dropping back too much. There's still those things are going on, and I mean, again, you saw it with our forwards last night, especially on Kron's face. He looked frustrated, I know. It's still not there up top. And, we're now, how many games now? We're almost 10 games into the season. So it's like, okay.
What did you think of the lineup?
The lineup, I'm glad Jim went with something different.
Same.
We weren't doing the long ball thing. I mean, I know that's what we tend to do sometimes, but when we're really playing well, we're building up, getting out to the ends, crossing in. Now we didn't have Kai, and that plays a big role, but also building up the middle. I felt at times, but then also at times we were just sending balls in, even with a man down, and it was like, okay, maybe we need to try, I don't know. It just, to me, it felt like, it was still the frustrating we can't finish. But I guess, it's early, but time's going to tell. It was better. It's still not where we need to be at times, but, I agree with, I think it was Mike Thomas said, that was a good game. And, I was talking to some other people today. It's still hard because 3 out of the 4 games, somebody brought this up. I think it was Kevin Kincaid that, we've been a man down. So how do you judge that playing a man down in the second half? I mean, I kind of made the whole thing when they gave the red card. I'm like running around our end going like, no, because of that. I mean,
but then we said, but in CCL,
I know, but still, it's like
you're up a man, against Alianza.
We should still do that, and we shouldn't always have to rely on the PKs from Gazdag because it seems like that's what we're doing now. We get PK.
Can we talk a second for one thing? And I know Kevin Kincaid said this in, on Crossing Broad. And just like they need to cut out, the flopping in the box.
Yes, I was
Okay.
actually going to bring that up. It was in the
Yeah.
notes. Like, I feel like this year more than any other year, like last year, Ua can do that occasionally.
We know Ua flops.
Oh yeah, Ua flops. I mean, I went back and looked at some of his stuff with Braun, but he flops. I mean,
Yeah.
like and it's funny because remember they did last year, like with Stu, they did the kids interview, and it was like right when Mikkel came, and they're like, the girl's like, "Do you flop?" He's like, "No, I'm an honest player." Well, I'm gonna call him out on that.
Yeah.
He does. I thought a couple times last night the contact and falling down was warranted, but there were some times like it's just like, guys, we're missing opportunities because we're trying to
Don't
draw
count on that. Like,
yes,
play the ball, and yeah.
So that's been a bit of annoyance.
Yeah.
Like, I get last year we're getting those calls, but this is a new season. Let's not be thinking about 2022. But yeah, I just feel like we're falling down way too much, and sometimes it's not needed. That said, who stood out to you last night?
Oh, that's easy. Damian Lowe.
Yeah, I mean,
he honestly to me was man of the match. He was just incredible. He just was playing like insanely good. I couldn't be more impressed, honestly. I think between him, Glesnes, Andre Blake, they were all incredible last night.
and you forgot,
and the defense. What?
You forgot somebody too that was really good last night that kind of got looked over as part of our spine. I mean, the middle. I thought Jose. Was
well,
great.
I was getting there too. Yeah, Jose was phenomenal as well. I mean, I will say one thing that we dispossessed them of the ball a lot last night. We did a really good job of that. I mean, Bro was run circles around them quite a bit. He made some fantastic moves in there, and that was something I thought was really missing when we didn't have him. We didn't have that. I mean, that was huge. So,
I mean, that was a big. Yeah. He played well last night, Lowe. I mean, the center backs did very well. Lowe was obviously standout. I mean, his recovery skills and a couple of those mistakes they made. I'll take that all day. And Brujo did good. I thought Jack Glenn played well.
Yeah, I like him on the corners and when Kai's not in there. Yeah.
But I agree that like for that formation, yes, that is a good thing where he can bring him in. I still sometimes think he can push up a little bit more rather than kind of going up, figuring out what he's going to do. But again, we're not going to get in all schematics because let's be honest, there's 8% of this community knows. But there are some certain things there. I will say the person last night, and I don't know what's going on with Torres. He looks frustrated. I feel like he's trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Now, some people are saying he's getting out muscle. I agree with that too. What I see though sometimes, and there was a play in the first half where we're down at their end, and he's just in the box dribbling around, and I want to say it was Biza, maybe Bedoyer, just standing there like by the corner post, wide open, and there's the rest of the team. I'm like, pass it over there.
How many times did we say, get it to Bizo? Like,
or Bedoyer or somebody.
Yeah.
Like there were times, and then there were passes coming in. I just felt like it's like, okay, we know you can beat people, but also I feel like sometimes he's better he's obviously better in open space, but he's also better out in the edge. But I don't know. I time's gonna tell on him. I mean, he had 2 good games and then kind of just started to fizzle off. I think. I don't know. We'll see with him, but I think right now, if you look at the 3 additions we had, definitely Perea. I was surprised he didn't get in last night.
Yeah, I was really hoping to see Perea, but
and Lowe.
Yeah,
Lowe played
really
phenomenal, which brings up a question that we actually had. We had a question from Chris Schwartz. He wants to know, what do you think would have to happen for Damian Lowe to earn a starting spot? Well, I think for me, I think the easiest thing would be to play 3 in the back. But I know somebody else said, it's Elliott. Lowe's gonna take over Elliott's spot. Okay, here's my thought. What would it take for him? Let's say they keep the diamond, which we know Jim is very stubborn. I mean, that's why I was surprised last night he went with the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
What would it take? I mean, it would take kind of like a string of 4 to 5 games like he played against Orlando, where he's just making some uncharacteristic mistakes and just struggling at an alarming rate. Like, I think then you do low. What I think is something you could look at is maybe circling those 3 in throughout the year to keep them fresh. But I know Jim's not going to give up the Iron Man streak for Gosh Dog, which, okay, I get. But I think to answer your question,
you mean for Glassness?
I mean for Glassness, yeah.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
And plus, Glassness has been incredible.
Yeah, and he has. And so, I mean, I think the 3 in the back.
Yeah.
Or 5 in the back. I don't know if we'll go 5 in the back, but I think those are the ways he would earn a starting spot for now. But we'll see. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that might be definitely the way. I mean, I wouldn't mind the lineup getting shaken up a little bit.
At times, yeah.
Yeah. Especially with as many games as they have.
Well, and I think that's it. I think we're going to see a lot of him. And hey, it's more opportunity for him. But I think in summation, last night was really a nice kind of where we go. I think the only thing that I'm going to say is, one, yes, we got a clean sheet with away goals counting on draws in CCL, or for the aggregate. That was huge. But going down to Mexico,
it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough, only up 1-0. I wish we would have gotten more.
Yeah, I mean, that was we definitely could have had more. We had some shots. We almost had a Glassness banger.
We almost did. So, and to their credit, their keeper made some nice saves.
He really did make some nice saves.
But we're not creating opportunities. So
what about there was a lot of nonsense last night too. You notice, like, well, first of all that stuff going on, before the PK, like, I'm not getting out of the way, but what the heck was up with them too? Like, our players are out on the field, like ready to start the second half, and we're waiting, and their team's not even out of the locker room yet. They're trying to do mind games.
It's gamesmanship.
Yeah.
I mean, it's CCL. I mean, take it as you need it. So
yeah.
At the end of the day, we get the result.
Yeah.
We're gonna go down there, try to hold them off. I mean, unless they get, I just hope we can hold, because I think the next round would be great. But we got a tough week ahead, which we'll talk about. But
thank goodness we have Andre back.
Well, that was something else.
He made some real nice saves last night.
I think the groin was tested. It looks good.
Seemed like he was feeling pretty good.
It looks good. And so I think from that aspect, the defense act, they got their defensive, you could just tell him he was calling out the plays, and in charge. And that's not a knock on Bendick, but I think the relationship he has with those players, you definitely see it. So for right now, I think that was good. But before we go on, and talk about the Snore Fest, why don't we? Well, there's some fun stuff in there too.
Yeah.
Let's open some cards.
All right.
So.
Yes, people don't want to see you struggling to open this for 5 minutes. So
yeah. So
let's see what I got.
Let's see what you got.
Okay. Any Livia? All right, from Sounders, got Loba from Nashville. All right, Reed Baker Whiting. All right, from Sounders. All right, Yemi Chara from Portland. Kerry Shelton from Sporting KC. Let's see, we just have a Teams card, Colorado Rapids. See you in May, by the way.
Yep.
Okay. If anyone else is going to the away game at Colorado, let us know. We are going. We're also going to go to a Phillies game. That's very fortuitous that the Phillies are playing the Rockies. So you got John Tolkien from Red Bull.
All right.
Okay. And we got Akiloba again.
All right.
So there you go.
So my cards, I got a sign.
Oh.
Cade Cal. which, is an up and comer, especially I think he got caught up in this last window, but I know he's been on the U20. He's the one that's coming. CF Montreal team card. Michael Barrios from Colorado. Orlando City. So 2 teams that beat us already this year.
Yeah.
Austin FC team card. George Campbell from Atlanta United. Christian Caceres Jr. from Red Bulls. And Brian Rodriguez from LAFC. And so who'd you get in the next one?
All right, we got Gaston Jimenez from that's from Chicago.
All right, Jimenez from Chicago.
All right, we got Team Board Toronto. Okay, you going down Toronto? Oh, we got Fafa.
Oh, we got Fafa. Houston Dynamo. He's at Nashville now.
Yeah. Oh, FC Cincinnati going down. See, we got Paxton Pomacall from FC Dallas. All right, we got Lucas Cavallini from Vancouver. All right, we got Axel Kai from where we at? Real Salt Lake.
Yeah.
It's okay. And Christian Espinoza from San Jose. Man, we got no union. Well, we had one union one. Oh, wasn't it Leon? Yeah, we had
one. I got Calvin Harris from FC Cincinnati.
Wait, Calvin Harris? Yeah. Like the
yeah.
that one.
I got a special Jesus Ferreira from Dallas. David Ochoa, who it says Real Salt Lake, but he got traded to DC, and now I think he's with San Jose. Dwayne Sinclair, former University of Maryland goalkeeper standout, and backup for the Canadian national team. Minnesota United team card. We have Arthur from Columbus.
Just
is it
Artur?
Artur.
One name like Madonna. All right.
Artur.
Yes.
Mark Anthony K was Colorado, but now he's with Toronto, I believe. And we have Michael Baldissimo from Vancouver. So those are our cards from
no union out of all those.
The only union card of all the cards we've opened has been
Leon Flock.
Leon Flock to this point.
Yep.
So let's talk about Sporting KC. Yeah. I mean, really,
okay, let's
talk about our night, because the game was boring.
Let's start with it was a little boring. Okay. So in my teacher way, I'll say when I give feedback with students and also with my swimmers that I coach with my athletes, I like to do the sandwich method. Okay. So that's how I'm going to approach this. You do a positive, and then you do the constructive criticisms, and you end with a positive. Okay. You do the glows and the grows. And our cats are going nuts. Anyway, so can I start? I'll start with the positive. Okay. We had a clean sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. We had Andre back, and he did well.
Yeah.
Okay. And Glesnes did well. Glesnes was a rock star, of course, as he's been. So there was that. Okay. And then let's talk about what was not great.
A lot of things.
Okay.
So for me, I think it was the passing. It was a lack of confidence. It just was not there. I mean, they had a player playing opposition at left back, who, because Brian Sweet, their left back, was on red card, who just got waived today, apparently. So we had player playing in position, and we spent more time on the right side on the left side of the field than on their weak side, when we normally go up the right side. So I don't know.
They were totally being in their heads like,
I think the fact of the matter is this. So that was my whole thing. But you're right. Having Andre Blake back was good to see for the defense. And so, but what's the other positive?
Well, you got to go in the press box.
We'll talk about that in a second.
No. I was, well, of course we had to wait forever for the game because we had the rain delay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was waiting for them to start passing around the Eastern Conference Champions Cup there. Last time we were in a rain delay was like 2021, and they started passing the shield around. We were under the supporter section. We were under the river end, and that was cool. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, we had a donut from Wing Kitchen, as usual, as per tradition.
I think the only positive for me is that as Todd Lewis posted, and when we were up at press box, we were more interested.
Oh, in the trash bag?
On the trash bag on the field than we were at the actual game. I mean,
yeah.
That was just a confidence, like you could just tell they had no confidence in that game. But that's my thoughts on the game. I mean, it was not good. And Jim said best, their confidence is just not there.
That was the first time I heard them getting booed off the field as when the game ended.
I heard a couple times in prior years, but
I mean, like the first time in a while, though. I mean,
yeah, that was bad. So
yeah,
I mean, I'm like sitting there trying to think of questions for Jim, and I'm just like, I have nothing because it was bad. So, but anyway, now we talked about the game. Let's talk about the actual night, because you and I had different experiences. I was up in the press box. You were down with Todd Albert on the pitch in the river end. So let's talk first about the tailgate. I thought the tailgate was really vibrant. We had
gorgeous weather.
It was gorgeous.
And we're like, yay, not freezing, It was gorgeous. And yeah, great food and atmosphere and everything.
Broke out the ring toss.
We broke out the ring toss, sucked at the ring toss. I did. Anyway, you got a couple in a row.
I was hitting a couple in a row. But it was a good time. We had a lot of fun.
Sunny, it was warm.
With a lot of people. It was just a nice, fun, really good atmosphere overall. And it was really packed. So, and then of course I went with Todd, and we kind of walked around the plaza and just chatted. And then him and I went up, and I'll talk about, it was great to be up there with him, got to talk to Skylar and a couple other people, saw our buddy Jimmy King up there. Obviously we go on our Twitter page, we took some videos of the rainstorm, which I'm sure you were under, and we were sitting up there on the balcony.
Yeah, I was under there thinking, dang it, Kyle, you're up there, just have a nice time.
With, like one of our former guests, Matt Ralph, just talking about soccer and life, and we were all just sitting around the table talking about soccer and life, and it was really, so from my experience, it was really cool because I got to see how a lot of these people, how they cover the union, and it was really cool. Kind of brought me back to when I was shadowing journalists in college. So. Because for those of you who don't know why I am a coach, I went to school to actually be a journalist. I wanted to cover swimming, and
he actually has a communications degree.
And then that was kind of my things. And I got public speaking, and then I just started getting into coaching. So that was something I really wanted to get into, and so it kind of brought that back, and that was fun. Obviously then going down and seeing the interviews with Peter Vermees, and then with Jim Curtin, that was a really great experience. So it definitely brings back the writer bug and why I went into that major. And so Todd, thank you again for let me come up with you and kind of show me the ropes a lot, and it was awesome. So really appreciate it. And again, got to meet some nice people, and hopefully I get to go. Hopefully I'll be back up there eventually again this season. So but again, it was just great listening to all these writers that follow the union, and just how they had different takes and opinions on the game. But again, pretty much everybody was like, "Yeah, that game was awful." So talk about a little bit about your experience. Like, what did you guys after we departed? You guys are still at the tailgate. What happened?
All right, so we were getting ready to march in fairly soon, and so we decided, we're going to go take the chairs back to the car. And as we're walking back to the G lot, we started to feel some rain. So we're like, oh no. So it starts just coming down when we're almost at the car. So we throw the chairs in. And of course, I need to, again, I already said about this, but there's only 4 porta potties right there. And that's like all you have for like the tailgate and the lot there. And there's always a line. And especially when all the beer starts going through everybody at the tailgate and the people that are tailgating in the lot there as well. So it gets kind of backed up. Our car was right by the porta potties, like really right across from, the row from it. So it starts coming down, that line disperses, and then it stops raining and it's like, all right, go. So that we waited out the rain there. It got cleared up a little bit. We go get in line, we go through, we go into the stadium, and it had started raining right when we were trying to get through the security.
Right.
So we made it in just in time before it really let loose. And at that point, they were saying everybody had to take shelter. So we walked around, went to the river end, and we waited out there. I mean, it was streaming down. If you weren't standing in the right spot, you might get some water on you. But of course, one guy was losing it that was right down from us. There were Sporting KC fans just wandering into the river end underneath. And rightfully, I mean, I wouldn't have gotten upset like he was, but they actually asked me to see the ticket when we were walking in there, what section. So how on earth are these people just wandering in then afterwards? So I guess they got lax on it or something. But these people were just clearly lost. They didn't know. People kept and it wasn't just them. There was a whole bunch of people just wandering and thinking they could get to the other side of the stadium, cutting through there. Because they would come. We were almost by the barrier where you know at 136. So people kept wandering in and were like totally lost, and then would walk back. But yeah, we just waited out. It was all good. It wasn't as fun as the last time we were under there in a rain delay, and Adam was walking around with the megaphone, and we were all singing, spontaneous, Bohemian Rhapsody and stuff like that.
Right.
That was kind of fun. I have video of that somewhere, but good times.
So once the game started, how was the River End crowd?
The River End crowd was decent, but as the game went, people were getting really pissed.
Yeah, I could tell because it wasn't chanting as much.
Yeah, people were just getting really fed up with it, and also it had gotten cold.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I actually felt colder this game than the other ones because I didn't wear as many layers, and of course we were missing the weather reports for this because it's like, how do we dress, right? I mean, layers is what you want to do. But
yeah, no, that's one thing I noticed. Like there was good energy in the first half, and then
frustration was mounting.
And then you could tell, like by the end, like all I heard was Keystone. I was looking at the Sporting KC section. They just kind of seemed like they were sitting on their hands the whole time.
Yeah, they weren't really doing much. Okay. There weren't that many. I mean, there really weren't that many of them there. But I'm going to be interested to see how many are in Colorado when we go. We know a couple people going, but
yeah,
that'll be fun.
Well, we'll bring it. But
yes.
So yeah, I mean, again, fun. 2 different perspectives there. But I guess wrapping up a couple things. Union got a tough stretch coming up. I mean, we got 3 road games now. We got Cincinnati.
Yes.
Then we're bound in Mexico at Atlas, and then we're back in Chicago. Given what we're seeing, how you feeling?
They need a wake-up call. I honestly, if they don't really bring it against Atlas down in Mexico, could be bad. But
I'm not worried about Cincinnati. I think this team right now is focusing on CCL. A point or a result against Cincinnati would probably be.
I'd really settle for a draw there.
I mean, I gotta be honest with you. Like when I put my season together, like Cincinnati's playing at a different level right now than we are. And and credit to Pat. I mean, he was a tactician as their assistant. I mean, you can definitely tell the difference. I mean, I'd say it. You can. They're different coaches. Tactician versus a man manager. I mean, that's
but,
now. having said all that, you never know.
Never. We could get out of this funk too. Remember, we had kind of a slow start last year. We didn't score a lot of goals in the beginning.
Right.
And then we had all those draws and, then we went off. So you
right.
never know.
We need a road win is what I'm getting at. And, because we haven't had one all year and we drew at Atlas. So we need a road win bad. We gotta get a result against Atlas, in my opinion, and we gotta get points one of those other two games, whether it be something just for, I think, to kind of start moving forward. Now we look better than we did last Saturday, so we'll see. But this is a nice little difficult stretch here, and then we're kind of getting into the season. So
yeah, we got a few weeks to our next home game, April 22nd.
Yeah, so this is gonna be an interesting time for the Union. We'll see what happens. Hopefully the attack can get going, but never say never. I mean, we were saying this last year, and then we had that breakout game against DC. I don't see that happening anytime soon, but you never know.
You never know.
But as we wrap up, one thing, and this is our buddy Jeffrey Mitchell had asked us to do. Do you want to?
So some you may know of Elliot. He is going to be turning 8 years old, and he battled cancer, and he's featured. He's buddies with Jack Elliott, and we've got to know his mom Grace, and he his 8th birthday is coming up, and Jeff Mitchell posted about sending him birthday cards, and we will retweet that. So, encouraging everyone to send him some birthday cards. Great kid, great family. And, so I think that would be really cool if you guys could do that.
Yeah, no, I think it's, just, a great story. Wouldn't you agree? Just about good friendship, and we've met them.
Cancer sucks in any case, but childhood cancer
is worse. And I work in my profession with people with cancer, with Live Strong, and we're actually developing now we're working on a childhood version of Live Strong, which is for cancer survivors.
But I loved hearing Elliot's story.
Yeah, I can tell you firsthand, this hits home for me, especially with my mom too.
Yeah.
So, I know we will. I encourage you, if you can, send him a birthday card. I know it would mean the world to this kid. And hey, Sons of Ben, we support one another. So
yeah, and guys, make sure you come out to the April 22nd tailgate.
Yeah,
they'll be doing they're shaving some heads for St. Baldrick's.
Yeah, I might get in on that.
You don't have that much hair to shave.
No,
so what's the difference?
Hey, I'll let it grow out for a couple more weeks and then just tell them to take it all the way down.
There you go.
So, but anyway, no, I think it's both those. St. Baldrick's great organization, does so much. I encourage you all to get involved. And just I believe in Jeff. I'm sorry for misquoting. I think his fundraiser's still up, so. I know I see him promoting it, pretty much every other day or daily. Definitely get out there and, make a donation if you can. So anyway, wanted to drop down in the closing. I think for us, hey, still got a long way to go.
We do.
Just got to keep getting better as the Union, and hopefully we get some results. But until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
And we'll see you next week.